What's up, everybody? It is Saturday, November 10th. This year's gone by pretty quickly. It's pretty fast, man. It's been pretty crazy. There's a lot going on, especially in my life and other people's lives, and I hope that I can inspire some of you to do better, in your life, and I could share some sort of be some sort of inspiration to get you over the hump of where you need to go. And I know that things are rough, things are tough, especially now in the holidays where a lot of depression really does happen. We're supposed to be a happy time, but a lot of stress gets put on us, especially through society and where we need to be in the societal aspect of it all. And that creates a lot of depression. So, I know I feel it. I feel it a lot. So, but I thank you all for all your prayers and support and to keep me going. And the reason why I'm on today is because tomorrow's Veterans Day. And just like any other day, everybody should say, Veterans Day should be every day or Memorial Day should be every day. But we all know in reality that's just not possible and that's just not realistic. But with that being said, tomorrow is Veterans Day. And, as a veteran, I don't look to go get any special accolades or anything like that. I really don't. It kind of sort of makes me uncomfortable in a way, but I do appreciate everyone the support and the love that I get from everyone as every other veteran does. A simple thank you is more than enough, especially when you've given your life to the service of this great country. But the reason why I'm highlighting this is because also with all the depression that is going on, especially with the holidays coming, and it being Veterans Day, and the other day with that shooting with the Marine veteran. And by no means am I trying to diminish what happened. What he did was a murderous act. It was wrong. It was horrible. It was disgusting. And no person in uniform really ever wants to be painted like that. That was just a horrendous act. But he was failed by the system. He was failed by those around him. He obviously had issues before he went into the Marine Corps. There was issues for him before he went into the Corps. And when he went into the Corps, I don't know what happened, but, obviously he saw combat. He was in Afghanistan. Some of them, people in his battalion said they didn't see much, but you know what? You don't need much to push a person over the edge or to really trigger something that has already been festering underneath the waves to really bring it to the surface and really to trigger it and for it to react and to become something of a boiling point. And not only this, back in April, he shot his firearm in his house, put a bullet through the hole, and terrorized his mom. And the police came and they sat there and they didn't say, hey, you need help. They didn't put him in a mandatory program. Now, I don't really agree with some of those mandatory programs because, and I know that with all the research, doctors really don't like to diagnose PTSD or depression because they're afraid of misdiagnosing and they're afraid of, putting someone through hell that doesn't need it. But when you have someone who clearly needs it, like this guy, you have to do something. And you failed. And we all failed. And now this guy goes and takes 11 lives, including his, which is 12. It's insane. It's sad. And it's wrong. And so when you think about veterans, this Veterans Day, think about what some of the stuff they've gone through. Now, not all veterans see combat. Not all veterans have their entire career and see combat or do any of that. Some veterans, they'll serve their tour. They won't even see, outside of the United States. But nonetheless, they took the oath to defend this nation against enemies, foreign and domestic. And we really need to think about that. But also think about our own personal health, our personal needs, our personal sacrifices that we make every single day that may lead to something like this, because it's not just veterans. The number is 22 veterans a day, but that number is actually a lot higher if you think about it. And if you think about all the other men that are out there that never serve, that go through this every day, that have to deal with divorce, that would deal with all this other stuff, that break them down because society says you need to man up. But nobody tells them how to deal with it. Nobody tells them how to deal with the heartbreak, the financial sacrifices, the financial hardships. No one tells them how to deal with how to wake up in the morning, how to not look out the window to see if your car's been repossessed, or when you're going to look on the door when, there's going to be an eviction notice, or when you're going to be able to put the next meal on the table for your children. No one tells you how to deal with that. No one tells you how to deal with those emotions, that stress. But they expect you to be that high standard, and society expects men to be masculine, but yet at the same time attack masculinity, saying it's toxic. When does it stop? When does it stop? But through everything, and then you have the media. You have the media sitting there saying, oh, keep your thoughts and prayers. Keep them. What do you think, God's going to change this? Well, let's look at this for a moment. As a man of faith, as a man of Christ. What is the one common denominator out of all of this that has been left out? God. Now you want to sit there and say, oh, what about Pittsburgh? The synagogue shooting. Well, that's not an act of God. Did that man really know God? Because if he did know God, he probably wouldn't have done that. We probably wouldn't have over 4,000 murders in Chicago. I'm sorry, not 4,000. I'm sorry, over 4,000 in how many years? I'm sorry. My number, correct me, it's 446 this year. People want to go on Instagram and media and want to complain about Jim Acosta, how he's being railroaded, how bad the president is, how he's a horrible person. But are we putting God first? Are we living a life of morality? Are we living the life that was intended for us? I don't think so. Now, do I think that everyone on earth is always going to be happy? No, because it's a choice. There's going to be people that are just completely miserable. They don't see it. But I do believe if God was in their heart, that would be changed. I do believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. I think that is just something that needs to change. And we need to change it as a whole, as a nation. We need to stop this bickering. We need to stop this finger pointing. And yes, Chris Cuomo, yes, God can change this. Yes, people need our prayers. Those families need our prayers, because you know why? Prayer changes everything. And I'm a living example of it. Because I should have been a statistic. I should have been one of the 22. But because of the Lord, He saved me. So I am a living example and living proof that prayer and God does save. So yeah, I'm a little emotional about this, a little ticked off, because it definitely hits home. But I want you guys to share this video, because someone needs to hear this. There's a veteran out there or a man out there that needs to hear this. You are not alone. There is help. And I'm here with you, to walk with you. But not for me, but to get you to the man, to God, to walk on a path for His glory and His name. And it's for Him that's going to change everything. Because of Him, everything will get changed. God bless you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And go out and thank a vet. God bless you.